Hey everybody, welcome back to Sisters at the Cinema. I'm Valerie.
And I'm Amanda.
And today we are talking about A Quiet Place Part 2.
You should have already listened to our A Quiet Place recap and heard our thoughts, but spoiler alert, we loved it!
Love.
So, A Quiet Place 2 now has a lot to live up to.
Right.
So, for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about today, here's a brief synopsis from IMDb. Following the events at home, the Abbott family now face the terrors of the outside world. Forced to venture into the unknown, they realize the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats lurking beyond the sand path. Now, like the first one, this movie stars Emily Blunt and two children, Millicent Simmonds and Noah Jupe. But we also have a newbie on the scene, Cillian Murphy, and a brief glimpse of John Krasinski, who was also in the first one.
Mm-hmm. What's the guy's name? The African guy. I can't think of his name, but he's in everything.
Oh yeah, Jaimin Hansu.
Yep. Okay, that's what I was looking for. His name to be in there too.
He's here. He's
He had a
listed
small
after those
role,
people. Yeah,
but it was a good one.
Oh yeah, it was a really good one.
So, as you know, the last movie ended on a sad note, but now we're back at day one. So, last time we didn't start at day one. So we're at day one this time. And the movie starts off with Dad. And Dad is running some errands. And then he goes to meet up with his family at the park. And his older boy is playing softball or baseball. And he's at bat. And then they see something in the sky, like a fireball or something coming down, like a comet or something. They don't know what it is. Everybody starts running. Well, not running, but leaving the game. Because everybody's questioning, like, what is that?
Right. So it looks like a meteor or some kind of something strange through the sky. But one thing I wanted to mention is back at the store when the dad was buying those oranges.
Yeah.
The old man was watching TV. He was watching like some kind of breaking news.
Okay.
And the dad says, "What's going on?" And he goes, "Some kind of explosion."
That's right.
And so we know that there's an explosion elsewhere. And now we see a fireball across the sky.
Yeah. And everybody noticing, even the dogs howling about, what's going on. And so people start gathering their stuff to, leave the game.
It's mass panic.
Yeah.
People are running everywhere, grabbing their kids and all their stuff.
Right.
Literally chaos. And one thing that I noticed is that the little kid of this main family is totally clueless. He is calm, cool, collected. He doesn't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
Which actually makes me think, maybe that's why he got in the first one.
So they leave the game. Mom takes the boys, and the girl goes with Dad. And so soon a cop shows up and he's asked what's going on. And the next thing you know, we see a creature run into the car right next to the cop. And Dad takes off running back to his truck. And Mom is driving the boys. People are just running the streets, right? And then Mom is driving, and there's a bus coming, like directly towards their car. And so she has to start driving backwards because we see that there's a hole in the window where the driver was or should be. And next thing you see the big hand or arm of the creature coming out through the window. It's crawling out. And Mama killing that driving.
She sure is, because I would have already crashed and we would have got eaten up already.
Already got. That's why I can't survive the apocalypse.
Nope. So, me either.
Yeah, so Mom killing that driving. She's she protecting them boys. But she does still get in an accident. And so dad and the daughter, they in the truck, and daughter, daughter a soldier, so we know that from the beginning. She be going off by herself and all this stuff. So she jumps out the truck. She's trying to go save her family,
Mm-hmm.
and dad has to snatch her up before she get towed up, and run them into a restaurant to try to hide out. There's
Well,
other people in there.
yeah, there's other people hiding out. Um, and the dad literally stops in the middle of the doorway, which I thought was weird. Like he walked 2 steps in, let the door close, and then crouched on the floor with his daughter. And I thought, why wouldn't you go hide in the back
I
somewhere
didn't think of that.
if
Okay.
you are running from something like this?
Yeah.
But in this little store or whatever, there's maybe 10 or so other people, including a girl who is on her phone talking to her mom or someone. And after she hangs up, her phone rings again, and chaos again ensues
Right.
because the monsters are driven to sound, which nobody knows
They
at this
don't know it
point.
yet.
So I get that. And he starts tearing people up
Mm.
in this store. And our dad, John Krasinski, he grabs his daughter and they take off towards the exit at the back of the store.
Yeah. Because while he's getting people, I mean, there's even a scene where it's like dad doesn't know that they can't see, and it's just driven by sound. But there's a guy next to him that's talking or praying. Yeah, and he tells him he has to grab his mouth even to get him to be quiet. He's like, right, because he hadn't figured it out, but he doesn't know that they can't hear, right? So that makes sense. But I do want to go back to the scene where the daughter takes off running towards the mom and the boys, because my thought was, dad just gonna leave her.
Dad said, I gotta take care of the one I'm with.
He did. It was like dad just got daughter and went in the store, and like he was not. I know he's concerned about them because they out there in the car. But I was kind of shocked that he didn't go run to the car to try to get them. I was like, it makes more sense about that speech he got in the first movie.
Oh, that's true.
So
that is true.
But anyway, so yeah, so dad and daughter are running out the back of the restaurant. Yeah, and that thing is in hot pursuit. And the little cop that we saw earlier,
brother,
he's trying to save the day.
Tried to save the day.
He doing his job though. I'll say that.
Protect and serve. He got his shotgun out.
Yep.
And he shot the monster, but as we know from the first movie, they have armor.
To no avail.
So those shots did nothing.
Nothing at all.
But get him killed.
Yeah. Whole thing.
And as he's screaming,
yeah.
What were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say, kudos to him though for, standing up and being a good cop and trying to protect the people.
Yep. As he's screaming his last scream, scrumped his last scrum, we see the oldest son next to the cop's car, and he covers his ears because that scream is awful. Death
scream.
Yeah, last death scream. So the oldest son covers his ears to block out the noise of the scream, and we flash forward to the last scene of movie 1, and we have our opening credits.
So I do want to mention that right at the end of that scene, the boy sees his father and he tells mom that, dad, like he's telling him dad is over there, telling her dad is over there. And so she signs for him to come on. And so that's like really when I realized that them knowing sign language really is what helped them stay alive for so long. And I don't think I really thought about that in the first movie. Because other families, I mean, they might try to create some little signs of their own, but they have to talk at some point because that's how they communicate. But them knowing sign language, that's a game changer.
So, what did you think about this opening scene compared to the one in the first movie?
So, okay, both of them are intense. Of course, though, it's always hard to beat the first movie
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know anything.
You don't
And
have
so
that
we're
shock
just,
factor now.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're blind, and everything in the first movie is calm. You're wondering why they're walking around with bare feet. why why are they sneaking in this old abandoned looking store,
Mm-hmm.
looking for medication and stuff like that. You don't know what's going on. And then we see them walking this trail or whatever, um, in a single file line, pretty much. And the baby gets snatched up
Mm-hmm.
by, we have no idea what's going to happen. So, opening scene, first movie was crazy good, sad,
Mm-hmm.
of course. But this scene was good too, I think. But we already, we're familiar with the creatures and
Right.
everything. So it's
We kind of knew what to expect.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
yeah. It's just giving you that day one so we can see how it all started because they didn't tell us any of that in
Right.
the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's day 474. And we pick back up at the end of part one, and the family is walking out the house. Mom's got the baby.
Who's crying and cooing.
A baby.
Eye roll emoji.
Mm-hmm. And so we see that one of the buildings looks like a barn is on fire. And mom goes in and she leaves the two big kids outside. And so then the girl says she's going back and leaves the little brother, tells him to wait outside.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks terrified.
As he should.
Right, why are you leaving me and where are you going? What
Where
you gotta do?
Going? Right.
Stay out here with me. Protect me. So the girl goes down to the basement and lo and behold, the nail's still sticking up. Why the nail still sticking up?
Why?
My thought was, okay, it could be loud, you can't hammer it,
Mm-hmm.
you can't saw it. But could you not put something over it? Can you put a box on top of it? Can you do something? Because what if I trip and fall on this nail?
Ooh,
It's just,
ouch.
come on, y'all. I thought that was a little crazy. So, yeah, she goes down there. The little monster carcass is still there. And mom is down in the flooded basement, and she puts the baby in the bassinet and gets this little oxygen
tank
for him. And the girl went to get some kind of radio and the microphone and stuff, which makes sense. I'm thinking, why y'all didn't take that when y'all first came up? Okay. But I get you need that because now you know how to fight the monsters, right?
Right. Yep.
So that's important.
Yep. So off they go.
Yeah, but we see the girl on top of the silo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's got them out.
Yeah, I guess she's trying to find people. I don't know.
Right. They don't give you any explanation like what she's looking for or where they're going.
Right.
Because that's the question.
Right.
You got this nice place. We know it's creatures here now, but you didn't figure something out.
Right.
So I'm
Why
in the
leave?
mindset, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you leaving? Where are you going?
Right. With a baby.
With a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So they set out to go who knows where. Walking over sand and crunchy dry leaves. But no monsters come for the sand. I guess it ain't loud enough. I guess. And so they get to this I don't know. There's a fenced-in building or something. I don't know what exactly.
Like a warehouse or something.
Maybe so.
I don't know.
But they have to go through this fence, and mom trips on a tripwire.
Right. We think the whole time that somebody's gonna rustle this fence and make a loud sound.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, they make it through the fence, and then the mom trips a trap, and they take off running.
Because when she trips on it, not only does she trip, but it's like got clanging pots or something.
Somebody set them up.
That's a setup.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question was this set up for people or was this set up for the monsters? What you think?
That's a good question. I think it's set up for people.
Wow. Because I was like, well, maybe they're trying to, hear the monsters whenever they come.
Right.
But knowing some things,
Because the monsters ain't always running on the ground. They be up on rooftops
You're
and
right about that.
jumping and leaping and all that. So
That's
I
true.
feel like as low as that was to the ground, that was for a person.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't come around here. Is what that means.
Just my property. Private property.
Mm-hmm. So
We
they
could at
take
least
off.
warn people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the noise is gonna bring creatures to your place.
That's true.
So I don't know if he thought about all of that.
Right.
But we see a man's hand with a shotgun pointing at them.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I was thinking it was a trap for the creatures, but it kind of makes sense what you're saying is the creatures can be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they hit it, all that's
What
gonna
does
do is
that
let
do?
you know they're there.
Exactly.
But
Mm-hmm.
so they running
Through a field, huffing and puffing.
Mm-hmm.
And the boy gets caught in a bear trap. Now, I will say, a bear trap, I ain't never been caught in one. But I just know that has to hurt.
Man, I can't imagine. You know, you just see them little metal claws going in that leg. And the way that boy screamed, he screamed like he had never seen a creature before.
Yes.
Like nothing else mattered in the whole world.
Yep. He screamed like he didn't know what was going to happen after he screamed.
Right. Yeah, like he don't know. And so mom has to cover his mouth. And then the baby start crying.
Can they be any louder? If you've seen Friends, put your Chandler voice on and say, can they be any louder? Because that's exactly how he would have said that. And that's exactly how I felt watching this.
But, you know, in their defense, even though they didn't have to leave home, but in their defense, they didn't know all this stuff was going to be set up to get them.
That's true. That's true.
So they're not prepared. You know, you can be
At
prepared
all.
for a little trip and fall, a little this, a little, you know,
right.
something to happen. But a bear trap,
right?
Tripwire,
yep.
That was not in their mind. So, so they put the baby back in the little bassinet with oxygen, and the girl, the girl runs and gets her speaker. I don't know. I guess she dropped it somewhere. Because here comes a creature. And so, you know, she turns it on with her hearing aid and all that stuff, and the creature freaks out.
Yep.
And mom shoots it in the head.
Yep. And Mystery Man is watching all of this go down. And here he comes to help them out.
Yeah.
He leads them to his hidey hole. The boy is still crying the whole time while this strange man is carting him around. And inside this warehouse or whatever building this is, he jumps into a mystery hole.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have followed.
Like, I don't know you. I don't know where you taking me. You could be trying to feed me to the creatures.
But I guess her son in there now, so
yeah,
she and her daughter jump in the hole too.
Might as well. So when they go down into the hidey hole, as my sister said, they get down into the basement and they go into this vault and shut the door. And so the man tells them that they cannot stay. He had no sympathy, okay? He said, you will not survive.
Not with no baby.
Not with no baby. And y'all done hit all the booby traps. Y'all ain't got no survival skills.
None.
Gonna set off all the traps. And so mom recognizes his voice. But his face is covered up. But she realizes who it is. And then she shows him the baby. And I think she thought that was gonna make him say, oh, well, why don't y'all, oh, come on, y'all got a baby. Go ahead, stick around.
Nope. That's even more reason for y'all to get on out of here. Scram!
Exactly. Like, take your baby with you. Because him, like us, is like, how you gonna do this? How you gonna pull this off with a baby? I know he can't believe y'all made it this far.
Right. Nope.
So realize, I'm thinking this is the guy that they were talking to
at the baseball game.
at the game.
An
And
old
so,
friend of theirs.
The old friend, yeah.
Yep.
And he still don't care.
Still don't.
Like you an old friend.
It's a new world.
People say no new friends, no old friends. So mom tends to the boy in his bear trap wounds. The guy has some vodka that he I guess, lets her borrow, and she pours it on the wound. And little do we know his name?
I know.
A little bit. He screams bloody murder.
Again.
I guess it's okay because they down in the basement, and then it's like a big concrete place. I don't know what it's a weird place, but and he falls out. He just falls asleep. And so Emmett, that's the guy's name. Mom is talking with him, and she says she's sorry about the boys. And he says, it happened that day. And so that's day one,
Right.
But imagine, I can't even imagine how many people got taken out on day one.
Right. Yep.
Because you don't know anything. It's just like a shock and awe.
Yeah.
You live in your life, and here comes some giant creatures, monsters attacking. And not only that, but I wonder how long it took before they realized they were blind and that they, sought you out by sound.
Right.
Because I'm sure that might have took a little time too.
Oh, that could be
sure. A month. It could be longer, before they realize that. So even after day one, all those first days, a lot of people probably got.
Big time.
So she asks about Nora, who we assume is his wife. And he said she was sick.
Recently.
Passed recently.
But then she asks him if he noticed their fires, their signals that they had been putting up.
Yeah.
And she says, "Did you know it was him?" And he says, "I sure did."
Yep.
And she says, "Did you ever think to come for us?" Excuse me? Did you ever think to come for me?
So,
I don't know where she going with this, but I ain't like it.
I agree with you. So, for one, though, I mean, she of course doesn't know where he is. So, but it's how many of y'all? I got my own family. I done lost my children.
Yep.
And you selfish. I'm depressed.
You having babies.
You over there
selfish.
Yes. I'm over here. I lost my kids. My wife done died, and you worried about me coming to get y'all.
Thank you.
We haven't seen them deal with other people though, really, till now.
Right.
So, because all this time we're thinking she's awesome, which she is.
As a mom and wife.
There you go. As a mom and wife.
Right.
But dealing with others. Everybody don't play well with others.
Nope. She sure don't.
Said,
"Did you ever think to come for us?" And I wrote, "Hell no."
That's Sophia
said.
So Emmett, he's right. He says no, and he says the people that are left. He said what they become. He said you don't know, do you?
Right.
And so that's another thing he been dealing with. While they've been in their idyllic homestead, just they little family.
Yep.
Fighting for survival, but they're having a good time. I mean,
right.
As good as
they playing board games.
Exactly. They playing board games. They
listening to music with the headphones.
So, having sex and babies.
And making babies, yes. They having a grand old time in the apocalypse.
And Emmett out here struggling to survive.
And that makes sense of why he has those traps.
It does.
It's for the bad people.
You're right. So, because I was thinking it was for the creatures.
Yep.
And then he says that. And you're like, it makes you wonder, like, okay, what happens to the people? Where they at? What they doing? I wanna know.
Yep, me too.
So when Emmett tells them, about the people that are left out here, he says they're not worth saving. And I was surprised when he said that. I was surprised that he even let them in, you know, because he could have just
let the
left them
monsters eat them.
outside. Right. He didn't have to help them at all.
Because they wouldn't have known to jump down that hidey hole.
Right. Yeah. So the girl puts the headphones on her brother, and he picks up some music. He hears some music playing, and so he's all excited about it. And he starts telling his mom and Emmett. But Emmett is like, "Oh, that's nothing. It's just the radio." And he's like, "They play that same song. It just plays that same song over and over. It's been playing for 4 months." And little bit doesn't believe him. Little girl, the daughter, because she's like, "My dad would have heard it." Yeah, he thinks it's nothing. She thinks it could be, something. And she's like, "Dad would have heard it," but he says, "Well, because y'all were down in the valley, y'all probably didn't have like a good signal or something." So
she's really angry with him.
yeah.
And I just thought, he just saved y'all's lives. Why are you so angry with him?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I thought she was just so ungrateful.
That's so true. Because she says he's nothing like that dad. I didn't even think about the fact that he just saved y'all. Wow. I missed that. Because I was thinking, yeah, dad, this is life. He did this and that. Even though we do know that even from the beginning of this movie, like I just talked about him not running to the car to get his family. And then mom having to give him the speech in one, dad needs a little encouraging to do all the right things. But look, the daughter may not know that, that mommy has to give him these.
That's true.
Give him these pep talks to make sure he take care of the family. But once he got to talk, he did do it. But to your point, yeah, Emmett did just put his life at risk to save them, because he didn't have to do that at all.
Yep. But she somehow realizes that the song is a signal.
Yeah.
And do you remember the lyrics?
Oh man,
of the song?
I do. Let me think on it.
Something about those lyrics mean over the water or beyond the water. And she starts to realize we need to cross the water. That's what the song is telling us.
Right.
And what does she do?
Is it somewhere across the sea?
Something like that.
Somewhere.
And she goes off on her own.
And so in the scene where, they hear the song, so the son is asking, like, so does that mean there's more people out there? And Emmett is like, no, there's nothing left. And not only that, but he wants them gone by tomorrow. Emmett ain't playing. And my thought was, so you just want to sit in here by yourself? That's what I was like.
Yeah.
You would think you'd be happy to have some company,
That's true.
Even though I know company can be dangerous because you're talking and
right,
stuff. But yeah, I just thought it was odd and said a lot about all he's been through, that he just want to sit. He don't want nobody with him. I thought that was weird, unless he's just afraid of dying. But that's just like we said in the first movie. Is it worth it?
Right.
Now
he's just alone and by himself.
Yeah. What kind of life is this?
Right. As we saw in the first movie, that old man, as soon as his wife went out, he said, well, might as well take me too.
He said, I got no reason to live anymore.
And it said, no, I'm good.
So like he was saying, the girl, she realizes or thinks that this song, and it is somewhere beyond the sea, that it's a signal. And so she looks up the radio station and finds it on the map, and it's an island. And so she tells her brother that she can reach it in one day. She's like, I can reach it in one day. I was like, you really gonna make this trek by yourself?
She knew he wasn't coming with that bear trap leg.
Well, that's true. I didn't think
her
about
mama
that, but
wasn't
she didn't
coming
even
with that baby.
attempt to recruit anybody.
This the bravest but also dumbest little girl I've ever seen.
Right. It's like she has no fear.
When she should
She
have plenty.
should.
She
Yeah, 'cause
can't even hear. She can't hear if she makes a noise.
she can't hear nothing. Dry leaves and sand and all.
Mm.
Like, how you gonna pull this off? So, but again, she's a soldier. But bro, like, no, you can't go. And she's like, no, I'm gonna find a boat. She got a plan. If I can find a boat, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, I can get to, see what's going on. And so, like you said, she sets off on her way. Yeah, she get on my nerves, but she's a soldier. So, yeah, the bro was begging her not to do it. And she's like, I have to try. And he says, why? And she says, because Dad would.
Yep. She's right.
Yeah. But bro said, well, look what happened to him. He said, I don't want to hear it.
He is also right.
Right. Bruh is chicken, okay? That's so crazy how they siblings, but one of them is, one of them tough, and he is like,
Right.
Mom wakes up. Well, Mom and everybody, I guess, because nobody knew that she was taking off. They wake up and she gone. And she left them a note that said, keep listening. She wants them to, listen to the radio. So this is another part of Mom, like you said before about her asking him why you didn't come get us.
Yeah.
She gonna tell him, you have to go find her.
No, I don't. I gotta do what now? No, I do not. That's your child.
That's your child.
You let her leave.
See? Why is it my responsibility?
Thank you.
To go find her.
Thank you.
Emma was like, I ain't doing it.
So you got me confused.
So I ain't doing it. And she begged. She said, I'm begging you. And we were friends. And he done already put you out. Y'all not friends no more. Word is the key word. That's old news.
Oh, Emmett.
And so then he says, he calls her by her name, which I thought was because we never knew her name from the first one. But he calls her name is Evelyn, and I was like,
I don't even remember that.
And so, and then she says Dad's name. She says Lee, which I don't think, which is funny though, because they did talk a little bit.
Yeah, but they weren't calling each other.
But yeah, they never said each other's names, which is good writing, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. And so she's like, he's gone, but if he were here, he'd look you in the eye and tell you that she's worth saving. Because he said, the people out here are not worth saving.
Yeah.
She's like, well, my baby is. Yeah. Save my baby, though. Yeah.
Let me think about it.
Right. So she begging him to go find her. And so, yeah, it's not his job, not his responsibility
at all.
She wants him to risk his life. And he already lost so much, But so then we see her walking, the daughter walking along the trail, and she got a rifle. She took one of the guns, and she took the radio, or the speaker, I guess. Yeah, the speaker. And she gets to this train station.
Is it a station or just a train on the tracks?
No, it's a station.
Oh, okay.
Because you see the shoes and stuff where people were standing probably waiting on the train.
The monsters snatched them out of their shoes. I ain't even put that together.
Yes.
I did. I saw them shoes and I said, oh, that's strange. And I ain't think about the monsters snatching them out them shoes.
Up, or they came out them shoes to run. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I know it was a station, because they had to be standing on that platform waiting for the train.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good catch.
And so, yeah, and even with that, she didn't look frightened,
Yeah.
But she probably seen a lot too,
right,
through all this time. But to me, it was like, ooh, it was eerie, 'Cause you're like,
right,
man, people got killed right here.
Yep. All right, so this girl has wandered off on her own. She is at this train station where clearly some things have gone down,
Mm-hmm.
and she decides she needs to get on this train.
Yep.
Why she got to get on the train if she looking for a boat? That's
I
what I want
think
to know.
I was thinking it had to do something with the ground or terrain. I mean, because remember she's on them tracks and
Mhm.
she's trying to step across the little rocks and just hit the wood planks, you know. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking she don't want to walk across them rocks because she think it's gonna be loud.
I guess, but it
I'm
don't
trying
make
to
no
give her the
sense to
benefit of the
me.
doubt.
So she gets up on this train, opens the door, which, hey, I guess it didn't squeak because there's no monsters come.
Right? Because I'm
But
like,
she
this.
don't know that.
See this whole metal train door. How you know?
Yes. Uh-huh.
It
She
should be
sees.
rusty by now.
Right? Exactly. Yep. She sees all these dead bodies and she keeps on going. She sees this big hole in the wall where a monster has obviously torn through the train, as we saw him tear through the bus and cars earlier.
Yeah.
And
Silo.
she keeps walking. And at the back of the train, she finally gets to a bathroom, a restroom, and she sees a first aid kit on the wall that she just has to have.
Yeah. I mean, her feet tore up. They bleeding. She was leaving bloody tracks on the train track. So I could see why she needed. But
But
this
she can
monster's on the
barely squeeze
loose.
through the door to reach the first aid kit. But she keeps on trying until she finally gets it. And she breathes a sigh of relief, as do the rest of us. And as soon as she pulls back, a dead body falls from behind the door. And she screams
Bloody murder.
bloody murder as much as she can, being that she doesn't have much of a voice. But she got enough of one because what happened next? A monster is now on the train coming for her.
Yep.
So she's scrambling, trying to get her radio out so she can do her thing with the hearing aid and all that.
Yeah.
And that monster said, "That's all you got? I'm coming. I am coming for you."
She
And
tried to
so
shoot it.
she tried to shoot it, and that still didn't work. That monster was about to eat her up, y'all. And lo and behold, a savior opens the door behind her and shoots the monster in the spot that needs to be shot.
Yeah.
And kills it. Now we all know these bullets make noise when you shoot them. So where the other monsters at? They take off.
Oh, well, I think one came.
Okay.
Because that's what ran in the building.
Okay. Because it's Emmett. Turns out that it's Emmett that saves the day.
He fell for that speech.
So he went and saved the girl. Good thing.
Good thing.
She needed him.
Okay.
And they hide in the train station, waiting for the monsters to clear.
Yeah. And so there's a scene where when she falls asleep and wakes up and all her stuff is gone.
And so we thought he jacked off her stuff.
Right. Because Emmett like, look, we got to go. I'm taking you back. And she like, she on a mission. And so, yeah, I was like, no way Emmett didn't take her stuff. I was thinking, did he take it to try and make her give up? Yeah. You know? But then we see Emmett come back with the stuff. I don't know what he was doing with it, but he gave it back to her.
Right. And said he found a boat.
Oh, yeah. He found a boat. So then they go back to mom and the little boy.
And the baby. The annoying baby.
Yeah, annoying baby. And so mom is like trying to go do something. She tells him she's leaving. She'll be back.
Come on now.
What? I mean,
she's leaving you with the baby?
With the baby. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Like, I'm a kid. Right. I'm your kid, as a matter of fact, and so is this other one.
He's like, wait a minute now, my sister gone, Emmett gone, now you leaving? So she leaving, and she telling him, you know what to do. I've taught you everything. You can handle it. So mom good for giving a pep talk. I'll tell you that. So she's like, I have to go get some stuff. You know, you're in pain and I can't have anything happen to you. So mama's going out looking for some medicine. Leaves a little bit by herself with the baby. Okay, so they like to go back and forth. They back at with Emmett and showing her the boat. So it looks like it's a pretty good walk away to me when he points it out to her on the bridge. And so the other thing I thought when they were walking, because I'm like, it's getting late. Right. Street lights on.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't notice it.
And so I'm thinking, shouldn't this have stopped working by now? Don't you think? I don't know. Maybe. Listen, I don't know how the batteries or the electricity, however, you know, it works. But yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Well, street lights.
Right.
Without anybody running them. Okay.
We flash back to the boy, and he is stubborn. I don't know what else to call it. Because what does he do? He gets up and decides he needs to explore this warehouse.
He needs to explore with his bear trap leg.
And leaves the baby.
Yeah, put the baby in the bassinet with some oxygen.
So he goes around as quiet as he can, goes up some stairs. Who knows who or what is up these stairs? And he stumbles upon a dead body.
As chicken as this boy is.
Thank you.
What in the world is he doing wrong? This is out of character.
You got that right.
I was like,
that's something his sister would do.
That's something sis would do. Bruh, everybody gone.
Yep.
And just you and baby, and you out here exploring.
Right.
Dora.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And stumbles on a dead body, which is what he get.
What he get.
And stumbles, literally.
Yeah.
It makes all the noise in the world.
The noise.
Can you be any louder?
If his nosy butt had to stay downstairs, all in Emmett stuff.
Yep.
Emmett let y'all come stay in there. You rumbling through his things.
Yep.
And done came upon his wife. His sick wife, he done got up here in her little, what you want to call it? It's like a mausoleum. Her little shrine. And you done disturbed it. And cause monsters to come. They probably done tore that place up.
Tore it up.
And now you on the run trying to get back to the basement.
And he gets back to the basement. And he grabs that baby. And he goes into the vault. And what happens? The door locks.
Yep.
And he can't get out.
Yeah, he forgot to put the towel in the door. Because he's rushing. He's scared. I mean, it makes sense.
I guess.
But now you got limited oxygen.
And a monster outside.
There's a monster outside.
Ooh!
He remembers that he forgot to put the towel in the door. And, you know, he starts to panic a little bit. And thankfully, he remembers the baby has some oxygen. So
now it's everybody outside.
It's everybody. He's like, oh, we're going to have to share, boo. You're going to have to give me some of this. I need some, too. So, mom is almost back. And she hears a creature in the building. So she starts running.
Yep.
And it's in the basement. But she's running. She shoots the gun to try to get...
To distract it.
Yeah, get his attention or whatever, yeah. And so, you know, she done went all this way to the pharmacy, got the drugs, got the oxygen tanks. And now, because of what the boy has done...
She gotta save him.
She got to save him and use one of her oxygen tanks. So, yeah, she, you know, shoots the oxygen tank. So it explodes, thinking she's going to kill the thing. And it didn't care about that. It came right on out them flames. Like, what's up? But she had to use her. But the fire did set off the sprinkler system. And so now, again, it can't hear as good because...
Oh, right.
The water.
Sound of the water dripping.
Yeah. So the water's running, so she has a chance to, try to get away. She gets back down to the basement, and opens the hatch, and gets in the hatch with them. But she doesn't fully make it. She doesn't get the door closed.
Door closed quick enough.
Yeah. And so the creature done reached in and scraped her up real good.
Ooh!
Poor thing. Okay, so the other two, M and the girl, they make it to the dock, and M finds a boat, or he starts untying a boat, and something runs by him. You can just, kind of see it at the corner of your eye or something. And so he gets up, startled, looking around, and what they see?
A little girl. Sitting on the dock.
By herself, looking weird. And so my mind says, don't mess with her.
Don't approach.
Don't. What'd he do? Approach.
Right up to the little girl.
Like asking her, like, is she okay?
Now, why is this moment the moment he wants to be helpful?
See? All of a sudden, now you the one told them people couldn't be trusted.
Right.
But you see a little girl out here by herself. I mean, what's the girl about? 8, 6, 8? She's little. So you think she just survived all of this by herself?
Right.
No. He goes up to her and she ties something around his neck, like real quick and smooth. And it's like some chimes or something. So now he can't move because he gonna make noise.
Right.
So here come the grown-ups.
These the bad people he been talking about.
Bad people that you talked about. And they look bad too.
They sure do. They been through some things.
They looking rough. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. So girl looking like, what I'm supposed to do. So Emmett's struggling like to breathe, and oh man, so just a bunch of people come out, and they've been captured pretty much. They take the girl, get a hearing aid, but then Emmett over there, he coming up with some stuff, because he look at her and tell her to dive, or he motioned to her to dive into the water.
So he got a plan.
Yeah, he over there, he quick on his feet. So the guy comes up to him and he grabs him and kind of, I don't know if he put the chimes he had, I don't think, but he did something, wrapped something around his neck and kind of held him up against that pole or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he stuck him in the leg with a knife or something.
Well, you know what that made him do?
Scream. So dude scream. Here come the creatures. Everybody running.
Chaos again.
Ensues. So his great plan, or their great plan to capture them. For what? That's the other thing. I was like, why y'all gotta be like this? Why y'all couldn't just welcome these strangers?
Right.
And see what they needed, see what they trying to do.
Yeah.
Because maybe they can help you in some way.
That's just like Walking Dead. They always got some villains. People who ain't trying to help nobody, but trying to get a come up.
I don't understand people. Nope. In the movies and real life. But and so, dude scream. And so Emmett jump into the water.
So was the girl.
Did she jump?
I'm pretty sure.
I couldn't remember. I didn't remember seeing her jump.
Oh, you know what? She does pop up later on a boat.
Well, she did save him, so
yeah.
But she is hot. She's like, I ain't diving in the water. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
That's true. She don't listen at all.
And so he all tangled up, about to drown. But then he sees this creature jump into the water. And so we know the creatures are blind, right? So it was on the boat. It jumps into the water, and Emmett realizes that they can't swim. Man.
And I don't think I noticed this the first time I watched this movie.
See, it's been so long, I can't recall.
Yeah. And I said, the monsters can't swim.
Can't swim.
And so drowning.
Well, I want somebody to come save it. And so what's crazy about that is the first movie, when they're in the basement and it floods,
Oh,
and it goes
yeah.
underwater, and I'm like, that thing's swimming. But it's just the
Mm.
water just wasn't deep.
Yeah.
So it can handle that.
Yeah.
But yeah, out here in the open water,
Mhm.
yeah, they ain't no good. So Emmett saw that, and then the girl comes and rescues him, pulls him out the water, and lo and behold, he got her hearing aid back. Thank
In his
goodness.
mouth.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yuck.
So so they take the boat and they make it to the island.
Mm-hmm.
Chilligan's Island. Sorry if y'all know about that. If you know, you know. Do you know?
Martin. She know I know.
Okay, so what you think about the island?
Man, they living lavishly on this little
Living it
island.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Like ain't nothing
They
going on.
sending out signals, but they really don't care. They just living it up. We gonna do. We got away,
Right.
and the monsters can't swim, so they can't get to us.
So if you
We having barbecues and picnics.
we got radios,
Who wants a hot
music
dog?
playing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you smart enough to figure out this code we done sent you, great.
If not, oh well.
It's on you. We did all we can do. We trying to help you, okay?
Yep.
So yeah, they're over there having a good old time.
Mm-hmm. So Emmett and the girl get off of their boat, and they are just in shock.
Because they haven't seen this since before day one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's doing this anymore.
Yep.
So yeah, it's an awesome sight. They shocked, like disbelief.
Yep.
And I know Emmett is like, dang, little bit was right. I know he's like, but I had said wasn't no more people. You know,
right. Yeah.
Nobody was worth saving, all of this stuff. And he like, whoa.
Yep.
And he like, I've been listening to this song for 4 months.
And I ain't figured nothing out.
Nothing.
He feels stupid. I know he do.
He's like, all this time I could have been over here chilling on the island.
Eating hot dogs and burgers.
Oh, Emmett.
All right, so we make a new friend on the island,
Right.
Jamin Hansu. I don't know if he's their leader or what, but he appears to be the guy who is playing the music. And he asks them if they heard the music and noticed that it was a signal. And Emmett tells him, actually, she noticed that it was a signal. So props to him.
But dude was like, I thought she was deaf though. You know why? You know how she heard. But.
Right. So Jamin Hansu's character ends up telling him how they all ended up on the island. He says the Coast Guard was tasked with getting 12 boats out. They knew that the monsters couldn't swim, so they said, let's get these folks to an island where the monsters can't reach. And he said they had 12 boats ready to go, people lined up, and only 2 boats got out.
Only 2.
These folks started acting a fool.
Right. You know, it's creatures out here. Y'all loud on the boat. He said they getting squished and all that stuff. I guess, you know, they were probably packing the boats a little tight and people start screaming. It just makes you think of, like, you know, them events when you hear about people getting crushed into the doors and stuff like that. So some kind of incidents, but out of 12 too?
Right.
That's a lot of cutting up.
That's a lot of cutting up.
Folks. So Emmett shows the guy the hearing aid, and they don't tell us like really what they say about it, or it's, you know, show him explaining what it can do or all of that stuff. We just know that he shows it to him and then gives it back to the girl and says that he said yes. And they don't tell us what he said yes to, what the question is, nothing. But then he starts apologizing to her, like, I'm sorry I doubted you. You were right. I was wrong. And I'm nothing like him. You are.
Yep.
And so, you know, he's feeling bad because she saved the day, really. I mean, at least to this point, because if it was up to him, they would just be stuck in that building,
Right.
or he would be in that building by himself and having kicked them out.
Yep.
But I'm trying to think, did she hear the song before or when? But whenever, imagine if she heard the song or they heard it while they were out somewhere and then they made it to safety. He would still be sitting in that building by himself.
Miserable,
not even knowing that they've been saved.
Yep.
I guess unless they made an announcement. That is funny though. Why is it, do you think they played a song on the radio instead of just making an announcement? Hey, come to the island.
That's
they can't swim.
Yeah.
That just came to me right now. Because if you have access to a radio, obviously you probably listening to it with headphones or you got a quiet place. Yeah. They could have just said, you can come to the island.
That's true.
They can't swim. Because Emmett didn't know they couldn't swim. So that's not well known.
Right.
Dang.
That's a good point.
It is.
Ah, man.
Now they seem a little selfish.
Right.
They give you this trivia. You do this quiz. So you can
be smart enough.
Right.
You can come stay with us.
We don't want no dum-dums.
Right. Wow.
But maybe it's because of, well, if they even know how some of the other people turned out. Yeah. Maybe they don't want everybody coming.
Right.
I can see that too. All right, I'll give y'all a little something for that. And so after that little talk, Emmett hears something rattling and looks over and he sees the boat that those creatures were on. And so creature made it to the island. And I thought that when this first happened, I thought this was their boat.
Nope.
But Amanda just clarified it for me that that's not the actual. That wasn't their boat.
The monster was on his own boat. And somehow washed up on the same island.
Ain't that crazy? Now, that's just a coinky thing. It would make more sense to me if they had, hung on to their boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, they done washed up on the island, and here we go again.
Here we go.
The nice, peaceful place that they created amongst all the chaos.
This one monster is wreaking havoc across this little island.
So Emmett tries to run and tell the people, but it's too late. You don't have enough time because they over there singing and eating burgers and fries, and
living it up.
And so the monsters start taking them out. So the guy Em was talking to, he jumps in the car and tells them to get in. So not only do they got a car,
Thank you.
So jump in the car and start driving the car and honking the horn to try to,
distract the monster.
Yeah,
from killing
get it
everybody.
To get it to come after them. And so this is after he, hid his kids in the house and stuff like that. And so he starts driving away, trying to lead the monster away. And they get to, was it like a barn? Or no? Some kind of building.
The radio station.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it is.
But they park and run in under like a garage door or something. And dude freaks out.
Yeah. Because he's like, I got to go back for my family.
Yeah. Because he's like, they tried to lead it away, but he's thinking, did we drive too fast? Did we lose it?
No.
And so
the monster's quick.
He's like, did we lose it? I got to go back. I got to get my family. I got to get my kids, But he's standing by the door, the garage door that is slightly open, talking, or maybe screaming, yelling about, gotta go back. And what did that little monster just
snatched him up,
swiped his little feet and pulled him right out of there. And you just saw his little claw and dude back as he dragged him away.
And hear him screaming his last scream.
Another death scream.
Yep.
It was so sad because they had their nice little life. They had made it. They had got away. And but we blame the people on the dock, the crazy people, because if they hadn't tried to get Emmett and the girl, all of that wouldn't have happened. But now y'all done drawn out the creatures, and now the creatures done took a boat to the island. Terrible. So then Emma and the girl,
station.
yeah, They looking around.
They got to figure it out themselves now.
Right. They
How we
don't know
gonna
where to
do
go.
this?
Yeah. So we see them, going through the building, looking around, and a creature, if not the same, is
It's
in the
got to
building
be the
too.
same. There
Okay.
was only one on
Oh,
that
only
boat.
one made it because the other one drowned, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, he in the building too, looking for them. I guess he killed old dude. That's one thing I will say is these creatures, they don't even seem like they out to just eat you. They just want
killing.
you dead.
Yep, they just killing.
So, which I don't understand. Maybe they're gonna tell us in the next movie. But right, they're just killing everybody. Like, what is your purpose?
Right.
I can see if y'all taking them, to eat for food and stuff, but they just some killing machines.
So Emmett and the girl are walking through this radio station trying to find out where they need to be so that they can kill this monster with the frequency or whatever it's called. And they go through a window.
Yes, she
She
does.
has to climb through a window. And the whole time we keep going, what is she about to step on? Is she gonna knock this glass over? Is she gonna step into this drawer and fall?
Just got us nervous.
The tension and the suspense of these movies is just on 100 throughout the whole movie. Because she makes it in just fine. And then she has to go into the recording booth. And she opens the door and it squeaks as she opens it. And her being deaf, she can't hear it. So she goes in this room and she don't know nothing. And she is trying to figure out how the music is playing, how she needs to put her hearing aid up against the thing, and then Emmett comes and closes the door so that he's stuck in the room with the monster.
Yeah, he's trying to protect her at all costs.
See, he's not such a bad guy after all, y'all. He turns out to be a good guy.
Yeah.
And so Emmett does get takes a little bit of a beating from the monster as expected, but the girl is able to make that weird screechy sound again.
Yeah. It's a hearing aid going.
To get at the monster.
Yeah, and then I don't know where she even found that pipe thing from, but she take that pipe and stab it in the head when she when it's freaking out from the hearing aid. So she kills it.
Right. Meanwhile, down in the hidey hole,
right,
her mom and brother have a monster out on their tail.
Yeah.
The mom comes out and she's trying to get something. I can't remember what. Can you remember?
I was thinking some of those supplies she got at the pharmacy. She probably trying to doctor on the boy, Mama.
She need to just sit there.
Yeah, you gotta wait this out.
Because what happens? Something makes a noise, as usual.
Yeah, I think she dropped something or something.
And the monster chases her back into the hidey hole. And she can't get the door closed quick enough. So what happens? That monster tore her up.
Got
her
that
leg.
Yeah, got that leg good.
Now they all crippled. They all got something at this point, it feels like.
Yeah.
And so what happens next?
So mom gets injured and the boy he still has those headphones on because the sister left that note, keep listening. And so he has the headphones on listening to the radio, and all of a sudden he hears the sound of the hearing aid screeching into the headphones. And so he takes the headphones off and turns the radio up loud, so the creature starts freaking out. And he goes out, he gets out the little vault and picks up the gun and shoots it in the head. And so, done. He killed that monster. Sis saved the day. Like, what she told them was real. She's like, I can make it. I can do this. And she did. She probably wouldn't have made it without the help of Emmett.
Nope.
But yeah, because even the people on the dock probably would have got her before she got even on the boat. But But her plan, she was right about it. She was stubborn about it, which is good because she made it over there. And now this signal is going out over the radio waves to whoever, can hear it and got radio access, and can help them take these monsters down.
But they're not going to know that.
They're not going to know it right away. Yeah, that's probably going to take some time, but maybe they'll get on the radio and say, hey, use this on the monsters. Just like we were saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like they could play the song, they could have easily put out an alert saying. And so maybe they'll tell the people,
right.
Use this on the monsters. So after that, we see the hearing aid hanging on the microphone, and the screen goes black.
Yep. The end.
The end. They did an awesome job with 1 and 2. These are high on my list. So,
and I'll watch a scary movie every once in a while, but Valerie, she don't watch nothing scary.
I try because I grew up watching scary movies. I try, but I can't handle stuff. I can't handle gore. I can't handle. But this is just like a jump. You scared, but it's not frightening to me.
Yeah,
anyway.
But it's still monsters.
It is, but it's to me, it's more like aliens, and aliens are different from monsters. So even though if they were here in real life, yeah, it would be alien and a monster because look. But I wouldn't last long enough to be frightened, because they would have got me on day one. So, but
Same.
Yeah, great movie, great acting. Even with the dad getting killed in the first one, they put Emmett in here in his place, pretty much, and he was great.
Yep.
Yeah, great story. I hope the aliens don't really come to Earth. Or maybe they'll be nice, like E.T. Okay, so the movie was fantastic. What is your rating?
I'm gonna give this 4 buckets of popcorn. I really enjoyed this movie. The acting was just phenomenal. The intensity and suspense, it was top tier. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty good. I really enjoyed it. So that's my rating. What about you?
I'm giving this movie 4.5 buckets of popcorn because it is really high on my list. I think it's so well done. The story is fantastic. Like you said, the acting. I mean, everybody's great in it. There's nothing in here as far as performances that make you question, like, how they get this role or what is he doing in here? Everybody was perfect, believable. The creatures are awesome. They look totally realistic and scary. No bad effects, as far as I saw.
That's true.
Yeah, some of those movies, the monster look cray. So that the writing, the story, I think it's just a great continuation of the first movie, and so you can tell that this was always the plan, right?
Yeah.
To do 2 because they wanted to come up with a way to end the story or get rid of, let the people win, right? Right. They just get desolated and that's it. So 4.5 buckets for me.
Awesome.
And anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, y'all, if you like this episode, come on and subscribe and join the family, Sisters at the Cinema. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.